Wu-Tang Clan.
The Wu-Tang Clan /Wu-Tæŋ is an American hip-hop group from New York City, originally composed of East Coast rappers LZA, GZA, Method Man, Raekwon, Ghostface Killah, Inspectah Deck, U-God, Masta Killa, and the late Ol' Dirty Bastard. The group was formed in the New York City borough of Staten Island, though some of their members are from Brooklyn. They are frequently joined by fellow American rapper and childhood friend Cappadonna, a quasi-member of the group. They have introduced and launched the careers of affiliated artists and groups, often collectively known as the Wu-Tang Killer Bees, and in 2008, About.com ranked them the #1 greatest hip-hop group of all time, and stated no weapon in hip-hop history can rival the chaotic cohesion of the Wu-Tang Clan. The clan had so many characters, each with his own eccentricities. They were fearless in their approach. There's a good reason no group has been able to successfully recreate their sound. The crew spawned countless loosely associated acts. Their classic albums spawned classic albums. Chris X of Rolling Stone called Wu-Tang Clan the best rap group ever. In 2004, NME hailed them as one of the most influential groups of the last 10 years.
History. Foundation and name.
The Wu-Tang Clan was assembled in the early 1990s with RZA as the de facto leader and the group's producer. RZA and Ol' Dirty Bastard adopted the name for the group after the film Shaolin and Wu-Tang. The group's debut album loosely adopted a Shaolin vs. Wu-Tang theme, dividing the album into Shaolin and Wu-Tang sections. The group developed backronyms for the name, as hip-hop pioneers such as KRS-One and Big Daddy Kane did with their names, including We Usually Take All Niggers' Garments, Witty Unpredictable Talent and Natural Game, and Wisdom of the Universe, and The Truth of Allah for the Nation of the Gods.
1992-96, Enter the Wu-Tang 36 chambers and solo albums.
The Wu-Tang Clan first became known in 1993 following the release of the independent single Protect Your Neck, which immediately gave the group a sizable underground following, especially after their tour with Cat New and Cypress Hill. Though there was some difficulty in finding a record label that would sign the Wu-Tang Clan while still allowing each member to record solo albums with other labels, Loud RCA finally agreed, releasing their debut album, Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers, in November 1993. This album turned out to be critically acclaimed, and to date is regarded as one of the greatest hip-hop albums of all time. The success of Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers established the group as a creative and influential force in mid-1990s hip-hop, allowing Ol' Dirty Bastard, GZA, RZA, Raekwon, U-God, Method Man, and Ghostface Killah to negotiate solo contracts. RZA spoke on the Wu-Tang Clan's unorthodox business model. RZA was the first to follow up on the success of Enter the Wu-Tang with a side project, founding the Gravadiggers with Prince Paul and Raekwon, both of Stetsasonic and Poetic. The Gravadiggers released 6 Feet Deep in August 1994, which became one of the best-known works to emerge from hip-hop's small subgenre of horrorcore. It had always been planned for Method Man to be the first breakout star from the group's lineup, with the B-side of the first single being his now classic eponymous solo track. In November 1994 his solo album Title was released. It was entirely produced by RZA, who for the most part continued with the grimy, raw textures he explored on 36 Chambers. RZA's hands-on approach to Title extended beyond his merely creating the beats to devising song concepts and structures. The track All I Need from Title was the winner of the Best Rap Performance by a Duo or Group at the 1995 Grammy Awards. After the release of Method Man's Title, Ol' Dirty Bastard was the next member to launch a solo career. His debut album Return to the 36 Chambers, the Dirty version was released in March 1995, and is considered a hip-hop classic. Late summer, and early fall of 1995 saw the release of Raekwon's Only Built for Cuban Links and GZA's Liquid Swords, which would turn out to be the group's 2 most significant and well-received solo projects. Cuban Links was a diverse, theatrical criminological epic that saw RZA move away from the raw, stripped-down beats of the early albums and towards a richer, cinematic sound more reliant on strings and classic soul samples. The album is highly notable in that it revived and expanded the mafioso rap subgenre, which started to decline several years beforehand. Lavish living and the crime underworld are referenced throughout using quotes from the John Woo movie The Killer, with the mystique of the Wu-Tang Clan deepened by the adoption of crime boss aliases and the crew name Wu Gambinos. The album introduced a flurry of slang words to the rap lexicon, and many artists have gone on to imitate its materialism. Cuban Links featured all but one Wu member, and featured the debut from close Wu-Tang affiliate Cappadonna. The album also featured rapper Nas, who was the first non-Wu-Tang affiliated MC to appear on a Wu-Tang Clan album. GZA's Liquid Swords had a similar focus on inner-city criminology akin to Only Built for Cuban Links, but it was far darker, both in GZA's grim lyrics and in the ominous, foreboding production that saw RZA experimenting more with keyboards than ever before. Liquid Swords features guest appearances from every Wu-Tang Clan member, and is linked together by excerpts from the movie Shogun Assassin. 1995 also saw the release of the Wu clothing line, which would turn out to be massively successful, and influential on hip-hop culture. It initially started as a mere way to make money from the demand for bootleg Wu-Tang Clan shirts, and evolved into an extensive collection of designer garments. Soon, other hip-hop artists were making similar ventures, and by the mid-2000s, a clothing line was almost a prerequisite for hip-hop superstardom, with clothing lines launched by Puff Daddy, Jay-Z, Busta Rhymes, Nelly, Ludacris, 50 Cent, and more. Almost a year after the release of Liquid Swords, Ghostface Killah released his first solo album, Iron Man, in late October 1996. The album struck a balance between the sinister keyboard-laden textures of Liquid Swords and the sentimental soul samples of Cuban Links, while Ghostface himself explored new territory as a lyricist. Iron Man was critically acclaimed and is still widely considered to be one of the best of Wu-Tang's solo albums. Although the 1994 to 1996 albums were released as solo, RZA's presence behind the production, and the large number of guest appearances from other Wu-Tang Clan members has rendered them to be mostly all-round group efforts. In 1996, the group appeared on the Red Hot Organization's compilation CD, America is Dying Slowly, alongside Biz Markie, Coolio, and Fat Joe, among many other prominent hip-hop artists. The CD, meant to raise awareness of the AIDS epidemic among African American men, was heralded as a masterpiece by The Source magazine.
1997 to 2000, Wu-Tang Forever, diversification in second string of solo albums.
With their solo careers firmly established, the Wu-Tang Clan reassembled to release the highly anticipated Grammy-nominated multi-platinum double album Wu-Tang Forever in June 1997, debuting at number 1 on the Billboard charts. This event was featured in a CNN roundup for the extraordinary sales the group achieved without a mainstream sound or commercial appeal. The album's first single, Triumph, was over 5 minutes long, featured 9 verses, one from each member plus Cappadonna and excluding ODB, who appeared on the intro and bridge, and no hook or a repeated phrase. The sound of the album built significantly on the previous 3 solo albums, with RZA using more keyboards and string samples, as well as, for the first time, assigning some of the album's production to his protégés True Master and Fourth Disciple. The group's lyrics differed significantly from those of 36 Chambers, with many verses written in a dense stream of consciousness form heavily influenced by the teachings of the 5% Nation. According to Nielsen SoundScan, the album has sold over 8.3 million copies to date worldwide. Wu-Tang Forever also marked the end of RZA's 5-year plan. After Forever's success, RZA ceased to oversee all aspects of Wu-Tang product as he had done previously, delegating much of his existing role to associates such as Oliver Power Grant and his brother Mitchell Devine Diggs. This move was designed to expand Wu-Tang's reach in the industry and take advantage of financial opportunities for the group. In keeping with this move, an array of Wu-Tang products, both musical and otherwise, were to be released over the next 2 years. Following Wu-Tang Forever, the focus of the Wu-Tang Empire largely shifted to the promoting of emerging affiliated artists. The group's close associate Cappadonna followed the group project with March 1998's The Pillage. Soon after, Killah Priest, another close associate of the clan, released Heavy Mental to great critical acclaim. Affiliated group Sons of Man and Kill Army also released well-received albums, followed by Wu-Tang Killer Bees, The Swarm, a compilation album showcasing these and more Wu-affiliated artists, and including new solo tracks from the group members themselves. The Swarm sold well and was certified gold. There was also a long line of releases from secondary affiliates such as Proper Wu, Shime, GP Wu, and Wu Syndicate. Second albums from Gravadiggers and Kill Army, as well as a greatest hits album and a B-sides compilation also eventually saw release. While this round was commercially successful, it was not as critically acclaimed as its predecessor. The second round of solo albums from Wu-Tang saw second efforts from the 5 members who had already released albums, as well as debuts from all the remaining members, with the exception of Masta Killa. In the space of 2 years, RZA's Bobby Digital and Stereo, Method Man Title 2000, Judgment Day and Blackout. With Redman, GZA's Beneath the Surface, All Dirty Bastards Nigga Please, You God's Golden Arms Redemption, Raekwon's Immobilarity, Ghostface Killah's Supreme Clientele and Inspectah Deck's Uncontrolled Substance were all released, 7 of them being released in the space of 7 months between June 1999 and January 2000. RZA also composed the score for the film Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai, directed by Jim Jarmusch, while he and other Wu-Tang members contributed music to a companion music inspired by the film album. The avalanche of Wu-Tang product between 1997 and 2000 was considered by some critics to have resulted in an oversaturation that was responsible for Wu-Tang's decline in popularity, or at least in critical regard during that time period. Reviews such as Melody Maker's write-up on Ghostface Killah's Supreme Clientele in January 2000, which began another month, another Wu-Tang side project, revealed critics' exhaustion at the clan's prodigious output. The overall reception for the second round of clan members' solo albums was decidedly mixed if largely positive, and they did not live up to their pre-Forever forebears critically. Occasional albums would still receive critical acclaim. Ghostface Killah's Supreme Clientele being one of them, is regarded as one of the best solo efforts from the clan, while Method Man and ODB remained popular in their own right as solo artists, and Wu-Tang remained as a well-known force, but they had seemingly lost the ability to excite the music world in the way they had throughout the earlier, and mid-1990s. Many fans and critics also bemoaned the lack of RZA's input on the post-Forever solo albums, which were mostly produced by the Wu Element producers, other lower-ranking affiliates, or by outside producers such as the Trackmasters or the Neptunes.
2000-01, The W, Iron Flag and New Millennium.
The group reconvened once again to make the W, though without Ol' Dirty Bastard, who was at the time incarcerated in California for violating the terms of his probation. Though incarcerated, ODB managed to make it onto the track Conditioner, which featured Snoop Dogg. ODB's vocals were recorded via the telephones used for inmates to talk with visitors, while in prison. The W was mostly well received by critics, particularly for the RZA's production, and also gave the group a hit single with the up-tempo Gravel Pit, part of a trilogy of videos where the group would visit different eras with the time-traveling elevator, which also included Protect Your Neck, The Jump Off, and Careful, Click, Click, which were then followed by I Can't Go to Sleep featuring Isaac Hayes. The album would go on to reach double platinum status. Shortly before the release of the W, ODB escaped custody while being transported from a rehab center to a Los Angeles court and was considered a fugitive. At a record release party for the W, ODB appeared with his face hidden by an orange parka, and was not recognized until introduced to the crowd. With police officers present outside, ODB performed briefly and then fled, fearing capture. 6 days later ODB caused a commotion, signing autographs in a McDonald's at Broad and Girard Street in North Philadelphia. Unaware of who was causing the commotion, the manager called the police. When the law arrived, ODB mistook them for fans until they drew their guns. ODB fled the facility, but was stopped while trying to start his vehicle. After presenting a fake ID, he admitted his real identity, and was arrested. In 2001, the Wu-Tang Clan released Iron Flag, an album which made extensive use of outside producers and guests. Its crossover vibe and features, including Ron Isley, Flavor Flav, and prominent producers Trackmasters, marked it as a lighter fare. While critically praised, it gained a less than stellar reputation with fans. Group member Ghostface Killah would later denounce the record. While originally featured on the cover of Iron Flag, Cappadonna was airbrushed out of the artwork and absent from the album entirely. This may be related to tension that arose within the group when it was revealed that Cappadonna's manager was, or had been, a police informant, a revelation that also brought on the manager's subsequent firing. Cappadonna would however, continue collaborating and touring with the group in the upcoming years. Around this time Method Man began his acting career, along with close collaborator Redman, by starring in the stoner comedy film How High?
2004, Legal Issues, Death of Old Dirty Bastard and Resurgence. U-God Dispute.
In early 2004, U-God apparently left the group in disgust. A DVD titled Rise of a Fallen Soldier was released detailing his problems, which were mostly with his treatment by RZA, who he claimed had hindered his success as a solo artist. He also formed a new group of young protégés called the Hillside Scramblers, with whom he released the album U-Godzilla Presents the Hillside Scramblers in March 2004. The dispute culminated in a heated phone conversation between RZA and U-God on live radio, which ultimately saw the two reconcile. He has since returned to the group and is heavily featured on solo albums, Wu albums, and projects.
Live and compilation albums.
2004 saw the unexpected return of the Clan to the live stage. They embarked on a short European tour before coming together as a complete group for the first time in several years to headline the Rock the Bells Festival in California. The concert was released on CD shortly afterwards under the name Disciples of the 36 Chambers, Chapter 1. At this time they also released a music video greatest hits album named Legend of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Death of Old Dirty Bastard.
Old Dirty Bastard's career in Wu-Tang was marked by wild and criminal behavior. At the 1998 Grammy Awards, he protested the Clan's loss, in Best Rap Album, by interrupting Sean Colvin's acceptance speech for her Song of the Year award. ODB was also arrested several times for a variety of offenses, including assault, shoplifting, wearing body armor after being convicted of a felony, and possession of cocaine. He was also in trouble for missing multiple court dates. In late 2000, Old Dirty Bastard unexpectedly escaped near the end of his rehab sentence, spending 1 month on the run as a fugitive before showing up on stage at the record release party for the W in New York City. Old Dirty Bastard managed to escape the club but was later captured by police in a McDonald's parking lot in Philadelphia and sent to New York to face charges of cocaine possession. In April 2001, he was sentenced to 2 to 4 years in prison. Once released from prison, he signed a $1 million contract with Rockefeller Records. On November 13, 2004, a date he was scheduled to perform with the rest of the Wu-Tang Clan at a reunion concert at Continental Airlines Arena, ODB collapsed at Wu-Tang's recording studio, 36 Chambers on West 34th Street in New York City. He was pronounced dead later that night, just 2 days shy of his 36th birthday. His funeral service was held at Brooklyn's Christian Cultural Center. Wu-Tang has paid him homage on more than one occasion. In August 2006, one of his sons came out at a Wu-Tang concert at Webster Hall and rapped Brooklyn Zoo, along with his mother. Also during a concert at the Hammerstein Ballroom, the Clan brought his mother out on stage while the entire occupancy sang along to Shimmy Shimmy Ya. A posthumous official mixtape titled Osiris featuring many new songs was released in March 2005, While ODB's Roc-A-Fella album A Son Unique was originally scheduled for release in 2005, but encountered numerous delays. It was then scheduled for a release on November 7, 2006 to commemorate the second anniversary of his death, however this did not happen. It was released on November 7, 2009, to commemorate the fifth anniversary of ODB's death. It was distributed by the Dame Dash Music Group.
VH1 Hip Hop Honors.
Moments before the Wu-Tang Clan was set to perform at the 2006 Hip Hop Honors, things turned violent with an altercation involving Oli Power Grant and a former associate who was suing the group. While initial reports stated that Nick Brown was along for the ride and got arrested for possession of cocaine, the group had issues with VH1's security staff. An actual confrontation took place between True Master and Power in a VIP area of the venue, said Power. "I ain't even gonna glorify that to no type of degree, but the bottom line was, yeah, you know there was a minor little altercation over there," Power said. "I see him and he's in the VIP on the strength of Wu-Tang, so I kind of reacted, be it right or wrong. Fuck." The brief altercation between the two men resulted in a tense situation and ended with Power leaving the Hammerstein Ballroom. "I ain't even have to leave. I just stood there and talked for, like 5 or 10 minutes. I made sure the rest of my people was able to stay because I told them, look, if it was anything then let it be my problem. Let them go ahead and finish doing what they do. I walked out the front, girls started taking some snapshots. No charges have been pressed against Oli Power Grant or anyone else affiliated with the Klan in relation to this incident."
2006-10, fourth round of solo albums and 8 diagrams.
2005 saw the release of RZA's first book, The Wu-Tang Manual, the release of U-God's second album, Mr. Excitement, and the long-awaited collaboration between GZA and producer DJ Muggs, entitled Grandmasters. The collaborative record received good reviews and played fairly well with fans, who by and large had been waiting to see the Wu step up the quality of their releases. On March 28, 2006, Ghostface Killah released the street rap-oriented Fish Scale, to much critical acclaim and some commercial success. The entire clan, including Cappadonna and the deceased ODB, appeared on the track 9 Milli Brothers. The album also offered an expansion of Ghostface's traditional sound, precipitated by the moderately successful club song Be Easy, and battle rhymes in the Just Blaze produced The Champ. After its reception from fans, label Def Jam asked Ghost to release another album that year. The result, more Fish, excited fans and critics somewhat less. On June 25, 2006, Inspectah Deck released a street album entitled The Resident Patient, a prelude to his upcoming album, titled The Rebellion, which is said to be his final solo album. Late summer of 2006 saw the release of Masta Killa's second studio album, Made in Brooklyn, to lukewarm reviews, as well as Method Man's 421. The day after, on which the rapper endeavored to make up for the poor response to Title Zero, the prequel. Around this time, he was heavily featured in the media due to his displeasure with Def Jam's handling of his previous project. Despite what the rapper felt to be little promotion compared to other Def Jam artists, 421 debuted in the Billboard Top 10, and received much greater reviews than those of his previous album. Method Man also made the decision to fall back from Hollywood, and to only do acting work on films being handled by close friends. The summer of 2007 was the original release date scheduled for Raekwon's long-anticipated sequel to his 1995 debut Only Built for Cuban Links, entitled Only Built for Cuban Links. PT2. The album was to be released on Dr. Dre's Aftermath Records, however, it would turn out to be released on Raekwon's Ice H2O Records, and EMI on September 8, 2009, after numerous delays. Ghostface Killah released his seventh full-length album The Big Doe Rehab in December 2007, and exactly 1 week later, Wu-Tang released their fifth full-length group album entitled 8 Diagrams on Steve Rifkin's SRC Records, whose now defunct Loud Records released the group's 4 previous albums. In an interview with MTV.com, Ghostface Killah stated that he was upset with RZA for starting the 8 Diagrams project while he was in the middle of writing and recording the Big Doe Rehab, and further upset with RZA for giving 8 Diagrams the same release date as the Big Doe Rehab, for which RZA rescheduled a release date 1 week later. The final outcome of 8 Diagrams received mixed views from both fans and critics, and is regarded as being RZA's most experimental work to date. Both Raekwon and Ghostface Killah were unhappy with the album, and proposed recording a group album titled Shaolin vs. Wu-Tang without RZA production. In the summer of 2008, RZA released G-Snacks, which was another Bobby digital album. He used the album primarily to put over lesser-known Wu-Tang Clan affiliates such as Free Murder, Killer Sin, Black Knights and others. The summer of 2008 also saw the release of GZA's Pro Tools album. Almost a year later, U-God released his third solo album entitled Dopium, which features guest appearances from several Wu-Tang members and affiliates, among others, and was met with mostly lukewarm reviews. Released 1 week later was Wu-Tang Chamber Music, a side problem executively produced by RZA, featuring live instrumentation from a Brooklyn soul band called The Revelations. The album features appearances from 5 Wu-Tang members, along with New York City mainstays AZ, Kool G Rap, Cormega, Havoc, Sean Price, and M.O.P. The first single from Chamber Music was a track titled Harbor Masters featuring Ghostface Killah, Inspectah Deck, and AZ. To clear up confusion, RZA spoke about the album to Billboard.com. September 2009 saw the release of the long-anticipated album. Only built 4 Cuban links. PT2, which features guest appearances from several big-name artists and Clan members, with Ghostface being the most prominent, and also production from RZA, Dr. Dre, Pete Rock, and J Dilla, among others. The album debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200 and at number 2 on the top R&B hip-hop albums chart, and has been praised by most music critics. Several weeks later, Ghostface released Ghostini, Wizard of Poetry in Emerald City, which is a hip-hop R&B album. Talk of the album Shaolin vs. Wu-Tang resurfaced in July 2009. Originally planned as a full-on Wu album without RZA's input, the project evolved to include RZA from an MC standpoint, without contributing to production. Raekwon stated. Speaking to MTV.com, Method Man revealed his, Ghostface Killah's and Raekwon's plans to record a separate album as a trio. Soon after, Ghostface Killah cemented the details. The record, featuring other Wu-Tang Clan members, will consist primarily of him, Method Man, and Raekwon. The title, as announced in 3 separate trailers, directed by Rick Cordero, promoting the upcoming release, is Wu Massacre. Speaking on their willingness to complete the album, Ghost said the 3 would begin recording within the next few months and estimated the release date to be the end of 2009 or January 2010. More recently, it was announced that the album would be pushed back from December to March 30, 2010. The single, Meth vs. Chef Part 2, was released after the announcement. Produced by Mathematics, it is an update of the song Meth vs. Chef from Method Man's first solo album, Tycho, featuring verses by only Method Man and Raekwon. It had been confirmed by Raekwon that Shaolin vs. Wu-Tang would in fact be his next solo album and that Wu Massacre is a separate project, while the rapper stated that he himself had petitioned to have Wu Massacre's release date postponed in order to yield more studio time. On February 25, 2011, Wu-Tang Live at the Palladium NYC was released through the group's official Facebook page as a collector's digital download. This included exclusive, unreleased freestyles. It was limited to 100 downloads before the page was disabled after this figure was reached.
Business deals.
In September 2008, RZA announced that he had inked a deal with digital music company The Orchard to release the Wu-Tang Clan's back catalog worldwide digitally, for the first time. In addition to forthcoming material, the Wu-Tang Clan's catalog includes 13 previous releases that have been previously unavailable digitally, including recordings by the group as a whole, U-God, Wu Syndicate, Kill Army, Shime, West Coast Killer Bees, Black Knights and others, and will be available online beginning September 23. The time is right to bring some older Wu material to the masses digitally, said RZA, de facto leader of Wu-Tang Clan. Our fans have been dedicated and patient, and they're hungry to hear the music that has set us apart from so many others. Hip-hop is alive in Wu music, and with The Orchard, we've got a solid partner that understands our audience and is committed to doing all they can to help us reach the fans. I'm definitely looking forward to working with them to see what else we all come up with. There's much more to come.
Documentaries.
Gerald K. Barkley directed the Wu-Tang documentary, entitled Wu, The Story of the Wu-Tang Clan, which premiered on BET on November 13, 2008. The documentary was released on DVD on November 18, 2008. On November 10, 2009, a documentary on Old Dirty Bastard was released entitled Dirty, the official ODB biography. The documentary features interviews and stories from his family members, Wu-Tang members, and affiliates, as well as old interviews with Old Dirty, and live performances. Wu-Tang Saga, featuring footage of the clan dating back to the early 90s through their most recent tours, was released on February 25, 2010.
2011 present, A Better Tomorrow.
On June 29, 2011, Raekwon announced that the group were working on a new studio album, still in early stages. Ghostface Killah later revealed in an interview during their European Rebirth tour that the album should hit the shelves in May 2012. However, in a recent interview with Pitchfork, GZA said, "We haven't been on the same page in years," adding, "It is what it is. Sometimes that match burns out. I don't feel bad about it. It's good. I'm grateful for everything we have done throughout our careers, and if there's nothing else to put out, then there's nothing to put out," hinting that a new album is unlikely. In an interview with Sway in the Morning on October 10, RZA hinted that a new Wu-Tang Clan album might actually be happening after all. November 2013, "That's our 20-year anniversary," RZA said. "So I told the brothers we should definitely come together and maybe do something to close the book. So we've been building about it. If life permits and the energy is proper, maybe next year on the same date or the same time we put out 36 Chambers, we'll put out a final chapter of recorded music." Raekwon would later show doubt in the album happening, saying every member needs to take certain steps so the album could be made, but he would be all for it. On January 9, 2013, work on the 6th Wu-Tang Clan album was announced via the group's official Facebook page. In early March 2013, Method Man announced that the clan was working on a 6th studio album and it would be released during 2013 in celebration of their 20-year anniversary since 36 Chambers. Wu-Tang affiliate Cappadonna has said the album is in recording process, taking place in New York, Los Angeles and the Wu Mansion in New Jersey. RZA has also said he had talked to Adrian Younge about working on a song for the album. On April 11, 2013, it was announced via a press release that their upcoming 6th studio album would be titled, A Better Tomorrow, and was set to be released in July, 2013. During late April 2013, the clan performed at the 2013 Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival. On May 17, their unreleased Wu-Tang song titled Execution in Autumn was released for purchase through RZA's record label Soul Temple Records. They performed at the 2013 Hot 97 Summer Jam at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, 20 years after they performed at the first annual Summer Jam concert. On June 5, 2013, the first promotional single Family Reunion featuring Masta Killa, Method Man, Ghostface Killah and RZA was released via the Soul Temple Records website. In June 2013, RZA said so far every member of the clan except Raekwon and GZA had put in work on the A Better Tomorrow album, and that recording was being done at the Wu Mansion, and the Wu Mansion West. Unreleased verses from Old Dirty Bastard will also be featured on the album. He also stated he was hoping to release the album in November 2013. In July 2013, Cappadonna indicated the album was halfway finished. Once November 2013 arrived, RZA gave an update on the album, saying that not every member had been significantly working on the album. He gave credit to Method Man, Cappadonna, U-God and Masta Killa for working hard on the album, while saying he needed more effort from Ghostface, Raekwon and GZA. Shortly after, Method Man stated that Raekwon had not worked on the album at all, and Ghostface had only recorded 2 songs for the album so far. In late November, RZA suggested that the album was approximately 6 weeks from completion. In January 2014, the group posted a message on their Facebook page, saying, "The new Wu album A Better Tomorrow coming soon."
Members:
RZA, born Robert Diggs, 1969, the de facto leader of the group. He produced the entirety of Enter the Wu-Tang and the majority of the tracks on subsequent Wu-Tang albums. He has also produced many of the group's solo efforts, especially early on. Considered a producing pioneer, recently his popularity has transcended hip-hop. Thanks to Jim Jarmusch giving him his break with Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai, he has gone on to score several Hollywood films such as the first installment of Quentin Tarantino's critically acclaimed Kill Bill, Tony Jaa's The Protector and Ridley Scott's American Gangster. Most recently he scored the music for the anime series Afro Samurai. Before signing with SRC Records in early 2007, RZA was flooded with offers from Bad Boy Records, Aftermath Entertainment, Interscope and Def Jam among others. RZA is currently working with Shavo Ochian of System of a Down on an album titled Attribution and still with an impending release date. The first single Deuces was released on April 22, 2008. A second single, Salute Sacrifice, was released on November 13, 2009. In 2012, RZA directed, co-wrote, and had a lead acting role in The Man with the Iron Fists, Ghostface Killah, born Dennis Coles, 1970. He has a very distinctive, abstract, energetic and emotional style of rapping and is arguably the most consistent member of the group. He had a large role in Raekwon's Only Built for Cuban Links, and later released his debut album Iron Man to critical acclaim. Mainstream hip-hop press credits his second album Supreme Clientele with Saving the Wu. He has enjoyed similar success over the course of 8 solo albums, more than any other member of the group. GZA, born Gary Grice, 1966, he is the oldest member of the group as well as the most experienced, having begun rapping in 1976, when hip-hop was still a local New York phenomenon. He was also the first to release an album, Words from the Genius, which was released in 1991 on Cold Chillin'/Reprise. The interplay between and other members on the group's recordings shows him as the wisest MC of the group. He is known for his laid-back flow, deliberate style, and complex use of metaphor, containing references to samurai films, chess and 5% teachings. Liquid Swords, his Wu-Tang debut album, is often considered among the group's best work, perhaps only challenged by Raekwon's Only Built for Cuban Links. Inspectah Deck, born Jason Hunter, 1970, he was one of the star members of the group, gaining attention by providing standout performances on both Wu-Tang albums and on other members' solo albums as well as being a popular guest rapper in 1997 and 1998. He is considered by many in the fanbase as the standout member on Wu-Tang Forever, although his later solo albums failed to live up to the high expectations. Inspectah Deck is known for his ability to use metaphors and deliver complicated rhyme schemes. He is also a successful producer, providing beats for many artists both in and out of the Wu-Tang family such as Ghostface Killah, Method Man, Big Pun, Prodigy and others. Masta Killa, born Elgin Turner, 1969, he was the only member not already an experienced rapper at the time of the group's formation, and was extensively mentored by GZA during his early days with the group. He was largely absent on the group's first album due to his being incarcerated, though he did contribute the classic final verse to the track Da Mystery of Chess Boxin'. He also had standout verses to Wu-Tang Forever and other members' solo albums, delivered with an intelligent talk rap style. Fans have praised his work on classic Wu tracks like Duel of the Iron Mike, Snakes, or Winter Words among others. He was also the last to release a solo album, though when he finally did release no set date, it was generally well received and considered one of the best post-2000 Wu-Tang releases. Method Man, born Clifford Smith, 1971, he was the youngest member of the Wu-Tang Clan and the first to release a Wu-Tang solo album with title. His career went on to become the most successful in the group, while maintaining an underground rep. His career is highlighted by platinum sales and a Grammy for I'll Be There For You You're All I Need with Mary J. Blige. He is recognized by his distinct voice and smooth, yet grimy flow. He has also had a significant acting career with many film and television credits to his name, most notably the popular series, The Wire, where he portrayed the character of Cheeseckstaff, the lieutenant of drug lord Proposition Joe. He also acted in the comedy film How High and the sitcom Method and Red, both co-starring with Redman, with whom he also made an album in 1999 titled Blackout, as well as the 2009 sequel Blackout 2. Method Man's friendship with the Notorious B.I.G. is credited for preventing more heat between Biggie, Raekwon and Ghostface, Old Dirty Bastard, born Russell Jones, 1968-2004. Arguably the most eccentric and erratic member of the group, his wild behavior drew significant media, and often police, attention. He was known for his offbeat rhymes, charismatic ululations, slightly garbled style, and unpredictable vocal inflections. ODB was among the most popular members of Wu-Tang, with high sales and guest spots with industry giants like Mariah Carey. He collapsed in Wu-Tang's recording studio on November 13, 2004 and was pronounced dead less than an hour later, with a later autopsy confirming an accidental drug overdose to be the cause of his death. Raekwon, born Corey Woods, 1970, nicknamed the Chef for having lyrical flavor and ability to cook cocaine into crack rock. His lyrics contain extensive use of New York slang, and some of which he invented, which is often delivered in an aggressive, fast-paced manner. He is also known for his vivid storytelling about wealth, power, and prestige derived from the illegal drug trade. His influential solo album Only Built for Cuban Links is often credited with initiating the mafioso rap phenomenon of the mid to late 1990s, and is generally considered one of the best of the solo albums by both fans and critics. The sequel to the influential album was released in late 2009 titled Only Built for Cuban Links. PT2, U-God, born Lamont Hawkins, 1970, a founding member with his own solo career, U-Gods has had a relatively low profile, in part due to his limited exposure, from being incarcerated for most of the recording of 36 Chambers, in which he only delivered short verses on Da Mystery of Chess Boxin', and Protect Ya Neck. He is known for delivering strong verses, his unique bass-like voice, and his style of blaxploitation rap. Cappadonna, born Darrell Hill, 1969, after growing up as friends with many of the Clan members, Cappadonna made his debut as an affiliate of the Wu-Tang Clan on Raekwon's hit single Ice Cream. He was also a guest star, along with Raekwon, on Ghostface Killah's solo debut album, Iron Man. He made his first appearance on a Wu-Tang Clan album in 1997 on Wu-Tang Forever on the single Triumph. Following his appearance on Forever, he contributed significantly to the group's third studio album, The W, at which point his appearances were no longer marked with feat. Cappadonna, as they had been on Forever. After a falling out with RZA the next year over royalties, he did not appear at all on the group's subsequent album Iron Flag. He eventually reunited with the group for their concert at 2004's Rock the Bells, and appeared on 2007's 8 Diagrams.
Influence.
Wu-Tang has influenced many current-day hip-hop acts in the areas of rapping, production technique, subject matter and image. Among these contributions have been RZA's sampling style, certain Clan members' mafioso rap personas, usage of slang terms, and the tendency of artists to run in tightly knit groups.
Production.
According to RZA, he tries to have no more than 20 to 25% sampling on any given record, something starkly different from many other major hip-hop groups. He uses the sampler more like a painter's palette than a Xerox. Then again, I might use it as a Xerox if I find rare beats that nobody had in their crates yet. He played much of the piano himself, with Bill Evans and Thelonious Monk as major influences. For instance, he created the piano part to Da Mystery of Chess Boxing after watching the Thelonious Monk documentary, Straight, No Chaser. RZA's production technique, specifically the manner of chopping up and/or speeding or slowing soul samples to fit his beats, has been picked up by currently popular producers, most notably Kanye West and Just Blaze, the two main producers behind Roc-A-Fella Records. West's own take on RZA's style briefly flooded the rap market with what was dubbed chipmunk soul, the pitch bending of a vocal sample to where it sounded as though the singer had inhaled helium. Several producers at the time copied the style, creating other offshoots. West has admitted that his style was distinctly influenced by RZA's production, and RZA has acknowledged his influence in an issue of Scratch magazine, saying he wished he had produced Jesus Walks and Breathe, two 2004 hits produced by Kanye West and Just Blaze, respectively. Kanye West commented.
Lyrics.
Raekwon's only built 4 Cuban links. Helped, with the likes of Cool G Rap, popularize the mafia theme in rap music that remained widespread for more than half a decade. The landmark album touted a lifestyle patterned on drug dealing, regrets of living in harsh conditions, and partying, including popularizing the Crystal brand of champagne, which Nas, Mobb Deep, Notorious B.I.G., Jay-Z, and other popular artists all borrowed and/or expanded upon these themes at points in their respective careers. The Wu-Tang Clan's slang has long been a staple of their music, wherein members would blend 5%er terms, kung fu oriental words, and comic book and street terms to create their own nicknames for actions, people, places and things, such as the christening of Staten Island as Shaolin Land, and money as CREAM. RZA noted in the Wu-Tang Manual, that Raekwon was the resident slang master of a great deal of the slang used by the group.
Syndication. Wu-Tang Management.
Oliver Power Grant and RZA's brother Mitchell Divine Diggs are the controversial executives who have been handling the business side of the Wu-Tang Empire since 1997, and are responsible for large amounts of products such as the Wu-Tang, Shaolin-style video game and Wu-Wo, which were released in the late 1990s and early 2000s. The two stay behind the scenes for the most part but do occasionally step into the public eye. Oli Power Grant is a childhood friend of several Clan members. Oliver Power Grant has also acted in numerous films including Belly, Black and White, When Will I Be Loved and others. He also won the 24th annual Toyota Pro Celebrity Race in Long Beach, beating out 17 other celebrity and professional drivers. Power was mentioned in Raekwon's lyrics in the street anthem Incarcerated Scarfaces, saying peace to Power and the whole unit. Mitchell Divine Diggs has been mentioned in several songs by Wu-Tang members, such as by RZA in his song Brooklyn Babies with My Big Brother Divine He Pushed the Benz Well, and Raekwon in the song The Turn with Divine Got Me, Nigga, The Boss, He Popped Me. Method Man however has voiced his displeasure with Mitchell Divine Diggs of the Wu-Tang Management. Number 1 on my shit list right now is Divine from Wu-Tang Management. He took something major from me that he had no intention of giving back. RZA's cousin John Mook Gibbons is now the head of Wu-Tang Management, who managed the affairs of Cappadonna, Blue Raspberry and The Watchmen.
Collective appearances.
Several members, including Raekwon, Inspectah Deck and Method Man, appeared as themselves in the movie Black and White. Members of the group have also appeared in several Comedy Central shows, most notably 2 appearances on Chappelle's Show. The first was in episode 107, in a sketch titled Wu-Tang Financial, in which RZA and GZA run an investment firm, lampooning the oversaturation of hip-hop-endorsed brands, which Wu-Tang were guilty of at one point. The second appearance was in episode 201, in the sketch Racial Draft 2004, in which the group is drafted to become ethnically Asian. In another sketch there is a news report parody of the opening sketch of Method Man, with a man describing Method Man torturing him. Various members have also appeared in episodes of Upright Citizens Brigade and Crank Yankers. On the latter, they performed in the hood in puppet form. Several members, including Method Man, U-God, and Raekwon, appeared in Scary Movie 3, 2003, with many other rappers, in a scene where, originally coming to save the day, they end up arguing with other rappers until guns are drawn and everyone shoots each other to death. RZA, Cappadonna and affiliate group Kill Army made an appearance in the Adolf Hankler episode of the HBO sitcom The Larry Sanders Show. In the episode, the group are booked to perform on the show within the show by guest host Jon Stewart, who then comes into disagreement with the show's network over whether or not the Clan are too urban for the show's audience. In one of their two scenes, the group is seen rehearsing the song, And Justice for All, and in the other scene, they are awkwardly conversing with the show's sidekick character Hank Kingsley, who asks where Dirty Old Bitch is. In 2003, RZA and GZA appeared in the Jim Jarmusch movie Coffee and Cigarettes, in the sketch Delirium with Bill Murray. In late 2006, Wu-Tang was honored as one of the premier and influential rap groups by VH1's 2006 Hip Hop Honors with other influential performers, Afrika Bambaataa, Beastie Boys, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, MC Lyte, Rakim and Russell Simmons.
RZA.
In 1999, RZA made a brief appearance in Jim Jarmusch's Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai, a film he also scored. He also starred with fellow rapper XZIBIT in the movie Derailed. RZA appeared as himself in a scene in Jim Jarmusch's Coffee and Cigarettes with GZA and Bill Murray. He has since appeared in American Gangster, a 2007 crime drama film directed by Ridley Scott, and in the 2009 film Funny People directed by Judd Apatow. RZA scored the first film of Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill saga. He has gone on to score several more productions including Blade, Trinity, The Protector, Freedom Writers and several others, as well as producing all of the music to a Japanese-style cartoon Afro Samurai, which also featured other artists such as GZA, Talib Kweli, Big Daddy Kane and Q-Tip. RZA was featured as a guest on The Colbert Report on October 14, 2009 to promote his new book, The Tao of Wu. RZA also acted as referee in the music video for Vampire Weekend's Giving Up the Gun.
Method Man.
Method Man has had recurring roles in critically acclaimed television shows such as HBO's The Wire, in which he plays the character Cheeseckstaff, HBO's Oz, The Twilight Zone, Third Watch, and the recurring character of Drops on CSI. He hosted a series on MTV for a brief period called Stung and has made numerous appearances as himself on TV shows such as Mind of Mencia, Chappell's Show, and others. He also co-starred with Redman in his own Fox sitcom called Method and Red in late 2004. However, after only a short time on the air, the show was put on hiatus and never returned. Method Man later complained in the press about Fox's influence on the show's style, claiming that there's been too much compromise on our side and not enough on their side, and bemoaning the network's decision to add a laugh track. Before the show even aired, he told fans not to bother watching it. His first prominent role came in 1998 with the film Belly along with fellow rappers Nas and DMX. He has since added many credits to his name, including roles in the films Garden State and 187, with starring roles in the feature films such as How High, Soul Plane and others. He also played a small role in the 1997 film Copland. On March 27, 2007, Redman confirmed on Bet Rap City that the sequel to the movie How High is currently being written, by Dustin Lee Abraham, who also wrote the first movie. He had a guest appearance in the music video for the 2003 If I Ain't Got You by Alicia Keys, where he played the role of her boyfriend. Beanie Sigel also called upon Method Man's acting skills for his 2005 video Feel It in the Air, where Method Man played an undercover cop leading an operation against Sigel. Method Man has fallen back from pursuing more acting roles after the situation with his sitcom on Fox left a bad taste in his mouth, and now mostly just acts if the problem is being handled by a friend of his, as was the case with CSI and The Wire. He also appears in the 2008 parody film Meet the Spartans, as leader of the Breakdancing Immortals. Method Man appears in the film The Wackness as a Jamaican drug dealer and on burn notice as a record label CEO.
Raekwon.
Raekwon was the focus of a VH1 rock doc about blood diamonds, where he along with Paul Wall and others visited Sierra Leone. During the shooting of the documentary, Raekwon became the first American rapper to perform in Sierra Leone. Raekwon and Damon Dash are in the process of filming a movie called CREAM, a project directed by the Wu-Tang rapper. He has his own record label, H20, with which he is acquiring new acts, along with releasing his own albums. Raekwon's son is supposedly a part of his business, overseeing production and promotion. His former extension group American Cream Team became Ice Water Incorporated.
Ghostface Killah.
Ghostface Killah released a doll in his likeness along with a series on daily habits and lifestyle for MTV called the Pretty Tony series into various short episodes. He appeared in a sketch on the show Human Giant and twice as himself on 30 Rock. His side group is the Theodore Unit, a member being his own son, Sun God.
Video games.
All 9 original members of the group were featured in the game Wu-Tang, Shaolin Style, released for the PlayStation on October 31, 1999, as well as a special collector's edition controller. Ghostface Killah and Young Dirty Dowsett, as well as collaborators, Redman and Keith Murray, also play themselves in all 3 games in the Def Jam video games Def Jam Vendetta, Def Jam Fight for NY, and Def Jam Icon. Method Man is a huge fan of video games himself and has publicly stated that he loves playing SOCOM online with other PlayStation 2 users, and is part of an online clan, KMA Kiss My Ass. His SOCOM do name is ICU. He has a fellow SOCOM player featured on a skit on his album 421. A video game from Acclaim, Nine Dragons, also sports the name Wu-Tang Clan in one of the name branches. In EA's Army of Two, main character Salem talks about Wu-Tang asking his teammate Rios who the best member is. Salem says it's RZA but he says Ghostface Killah is pretty good himself. In the ending cutscene, a reference is made when Salem says Survey says. And Rios replies you're dead. The exchange reference the lyric, and the survey says / you're dead. From Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nuthin Tawefwit, from the album Enter the Wu-Tang Clan, 36 Chambers. Several tracks by clan members and affiliates such as Method Man, Ghostface, Cappadonna, Trife, DJ Mathematics and others were featured in the 2006 game Saints Row. The video game of Afro Samurai, based on the cult TV series, was released in January 2009 for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Its soundtrack, like the show, was produced by RZA.
Clothing line.
Oli Power Grant was one of the first to move from music to clothes. The executive producer of the Wu-Tang Clan, Grant started making clothes in the early 1990s, with little success. But in 1995, with the platinum success of Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers, suddenly the manufacturers that earlier wouldn't extend Power credit saw the potential. Power opened 4 Wu stores, in New York City, Los Angeles, Atlanta and Norfolk, Virginia. The line is carried in Macy's, Riches, and DEMO, among others. Power says he earned $10 million in 1998. 1997 saw the release of Wu-Tang's multi-platinum double LP Wu-Tang Forever, which launched the clothing line, Wu Wear, to all new heights. Method Man was unhappy with the decision to bring Wu-Tang into the fashion world with Wu Wear, despite the brand being a major money-maker for the group. When Wu Wear started making shoes and sneakers and pants, it was shoddy material. I never rocked that shit. In 1999, Nike released a Wu-Tang Clan-themed Dunk High. The shoes were produced in low quantities. Their rarity and popularity makes them very sought after, leading reseller prices to be as much as $7,500. A partnership between Wu-Tang and the Alive NYC clothing group took place in 2007 through 2008 for an exclusive series of custom sneakers, t-shirts, hoodies and other accessories for both men and women. The collection was named A Wu-Tang Life.
Controversy. G-Unit.
Ghostface had a non-publicized feud with 50 Cent in the late 1990s and early 2000s. On 50 Cent's track, How to Rob, insults were aimed at many high-profile rappers, including Wu-Tang. In the early 2000s the argument made it onto wax with skits titled Clyde Smith on Supreme Clientele, featuring a low-pitched recording of what most fans believe to be Raekwon's voice derisively making fun of 50 Cent's behavior and his methods of attracting attention to himself. The skit also joked at other unnamed gangster rappers in New York. 50 Cent took offense and came back with a short track dissing Wu-Tang Clan, and Ghostface in particular. That track was later reworked into the titled Too Hot, with 50 rapping over a sample of Ghostface on Raekwon's album. 50 rose to fame. Both he and Ghostface talked in interviews with SOHH.com and Hot 97 Radio about the supposed argument, both saying that the argument was never that serious and nothing major had happened. A supposed diss song, Small Change, Who the Fuck is 50 Cent, which circulated the web in the beginning of 2001, was rumored to be by the Clan, but was proven to be recorded by Polite and Lord Superb of American Cream Team, Raekwon's then side project. G-Unit member Tony Yayo has alleged that Ghostface had a ghostwriter for his critically acclaimed album Supreme Clientele. In an interview with Spin magazine, Yayo claimed that Far Rockaway native Lord Superb, who guested on the album, wrote a majority, if not all, of the lyrics. In an interview with hiphop.com, Raekwon, who also appears on the album, responded saying, "He know damn well he ain't write that fucking album. I don't even wanna get into shit like that, because it just makes me upset that motherfuckers be running they mouth all kinda ways. But at the end of the day, I think Ghost gonna have to really say what he got to say." However, in a November 2007 interview with Rhapsody Music, Ghost responded with, "Perb is Ray's man. He been in the studio a few times while we're doing shit. He ain't write shit. All Perb contributed was a couple of lines that you could put in the air. When we write, we all do that. Say this one right here, or put this one right here. We all catch lines with each other 'cause you in the studio. You got niggas around you that write. Even if he did write a verse, he could never make an album of mine. He couldn't make an album, you feel me? I made Supreme Clientele what it is. Those are my stories, based around whatever they're based upon. It's me. I can't see what songs Perb wrote. He ain't write Mighty Healthy, or One, or Apollo Kids, or Church's La Ghost, or Saturday Night, or Malcolm." You God called Tony Yayo a bitch in an interview with UndergroundHipHop.com, and threatened to beat him down when he sees him, but said that no diss tracks will be recorded. Paper Plates, one of the tracks from GZA's Pro Tools album released in 2008, is known to be a 50 Cent diss track. The feud between GZA and 50 started in a concert in London, where GZA was performing, and during the concert he was responding to what the crowd had to say about the current state of hip-hop, particularly in the mainstream world. Soulja Boy and 50 Cent were both mentioned. GZA made some comments such as, "50 doesn't have any motherfucking lyrics. You got a lot of record sales, a lot of money nigga, but no talent." 50 Cent responded back to GZA on his thoughts about his comments directed at Soulja Boy, whom he has a good relationship with personally. "Recently I seen a video on YouTube and the video was of the GZA, that's short for the genius. He's a genius. I'm sure everyone else has forgotten who he is also. Kid is 16 years old and we googled you. You were born in 66. He was born in 1966, laughs. Listen, I have an old school Chevy Impala your age." 50 has yet to record a diss track in response to GZA's Paper Plate.
The Notorious B.I.G.
During his career, the Notorious B.I.G. had a checkered relationship with the Wu-Tang Clan. He collaborated with Raekwon on the 1994 Ron G song Stop the Brakes, which also featured Killa Sin and KRS-One. The same year, on B.I.G.'s debut album Ready to Die, Method Man was featured on the song The What, and was the only featured rapper on the album. The song, The What, was produced by Easy Mo Bee, who had strong ties to Notorious B.I.G., as well as several Clan members, such as RZA and GZA. According to Method Man, though even at this point friction was present between Biggie and the Clan, the two rappers got along. In 1995, on the album Only Built for Cuban Links, Raekwon and Ghostface Killah commented on Big in a skit called Shark Niggas, Biters, alleging that he copied the cover from Nas' landmark release Illmatic, as well as styles from other rap artists. This generated long-standing controversy over their differences with Biggie, and in later interviews, both rappers would downplay the incident. In the Wu-Tang Manual, a book by the RZA on the origins of the Wu-Tang Clan, he recalls a concert at which Biggie and Wu-Tang both performed, at which Raekwon and Ghostface were reportedly under the influence, and angry at some comments Big made in the source. In RZA's view, had the artists and their entourages met up that night, things could have gotten violent, but nothing of the sort ever occurred. It is worth mentioning that on B.I.G.'s final studio album Life After Death he took a shot back at Raekwon on the song Kick in the Door, which was a diss song to several other rappers as well, with the line, "Fuck that, why try throw bleach in your eye," which was a response to lyrics from Raekwon's song Ice Water, where Raekwon rhymed. To top it all off, beefin' for white pullin' bleach out, try and throw it in my eyesight. On the posthumous 1997 song Victory, released on Puff Daddy's album No Way Out, B.I.G. also rhymes, "Militant y'all faggots ain't killin' shit," in response to a Ghostface Killah line on the song Criminology, where he raps, "RZA baked the track and it's militant then I react like a convict, and start killin' shit." It is also worth mentioning that B.I.G. chose RZA to produce the track Long Kiss Goodnight, a song allegedly aimed at Biggie's longtime rival Tupac Shakur, which appeared on Life After Death. RZA went on to comment about the collaboration, saying, "On the same album, B.I.G. gave thanks to Wu-Tang in the album's liner notes, and also inserted lyrics praising the Wu-Tang Clan single CREAM. On the song Notorious Thugs, he states, I'ma tell you like a nigga told me cash rules everything around me." On his 2002 album God's Son, Nas references the feud on his song Last Real Nigga Alive, implying that although he and Big had their differences, they were friendly. While he was also on good terms with Raekwon, neither Big nor Raekwon got along, and both warned Nas the other would copy his lyrics and style. In 2006, Ghostface and Raekwon did a posthumous collaboration with Biggie, on the song 3 Bricks, which was originally intended to appear on the posthumous Biggie album, Duets, The Final Chapter, but it instead became a bonus song on the Ghostface Killah album Fish Scale. In 2008, Raekwon did a cover of Jadakai's hit Letter to B.I.G., injecting his own thoughts on his deceased former rival.
Sean Combs.
In 1998, ODB rushed on stage unexpectedly during Sean Colvin's acceptance speech for Song of the Year at the Grammy Awards, and began complaining that he had recently purchased expensive clothes in anticipation of winning the Best Rap Album award that he lost to Sean Combs. Before being escorted off stage, he implored the audience, "I don't know how you all see it, but when it comes to the children, Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children. Puffy is good, but Wu-Tang is the best. I want you all to know that this is ODB, and I love you all. Peace." His bizarre on-stage antics were widely reported in the mainstream media. Dirty made it known on the Howard Stern show that he meant no disrespect to Combs, but that feelings were hurt on Combs' end. Later that night Combs' bodyguards would physically threaten ODB, but Dirty insisted to his friends and family in attendance that no violence broke out. Following the award show, Howard Stern asked Dirty about the incident with Diddy's bodyguards on his radio show, but Dirty wouldn't play up the incident as he didn't want to shine a bad light on hip-hop because of one minor altercation. Ghostface appeared on the 2002 Bad Boy Records release, We Invented the Remix, along with Combs on the remix to the song Special Delivery. Ghostface even gives Bad Boy Records a shout-out for inviting him on the track when he raps Bad Boy, "Thank you for this special delivery." Coombs was one of the executive producers for Method Man's 2004 album Title Zero, the prequel, although Meth later voiced his displeasure with the final product. On the third LP, it was suggested to bring in Harv Pierre and P. Diddy. Who am I to argue? Puff knows how to sell some records. But that wasn't the direction to go in, and I know that now. In 2006, Method Man also called out Coombs' decisions on the posthumous Notorious B.I.G. album Duets, The Final Chapter, saying that Biggie never would have rocked with some of the subpar rappers featured on it. He also brought up the fact that he was the only other rapper that Biggie chose to feature on his debut album Ready to Die.
Maze.
After bad-mouthing Wu-Tang at a concert, Bad Boy recording artist Maze had a run-in with Ghostface and his entourage at a club in New York City. There was some sort of physical altercation between Maze's and Ghostface's camps, and Maze left the incident with a broken jaw. Kanye West is among several rappers who have made reference to the incident, rapping, "If you could feel how my face felt / you would know how Maze felt," on his single Through the Wire. Shyam also referred to the incident in a freestyle, with the line "The Empire State," where Ghostface retired Maze. In the June 2007 issue of Hip Hop Connection magazine, Wu-Tang affiliate Silverring stated that Ghostface had in fact done time in jail for beating up Maze.
Joe Budden.
In 2009, Joe Budden posted a video blog voicing his opinion on a Best Rapper Readers poll posted in Vibe magazine. Throughout the video, Budden gave examples of rappers who were ranked too high, and claimed to be better than half of the rappers on the list. Some of the people he mentioned were Mel Mal, Prodigy, Ol' Dirty Bastard, and Method Man. At the end of the video, he went on to say that he'd beat Method Man in a battle if they were face to face. Shortly after this, Budden called into Ed Lover's Power 105.1, and took his claim on Method Man even further by stating, lyrically, "I will cut that man's head off his shoulders." Several weeks later, Joe Budden did a freestyle track titled DOA Freestyle, which many speculated of containing subliminal shots towards Method Man and several members of Wu-Tang. Method Man was overseas while all of this occurred, but eventually spoke out about it on several radio interviews. While Raekwon was on the Rock the Bells tour with Joe Budden and his group Slaughterhouse, the two got together to settle any bad blood. This calmed things down for a short while, until Wu-Tang member Inspectah Deck released a Joe Budden diss track entitled House Nigga, which was a response to Budden's remarks. A few days after releasing this track, on July 9, 2009, Deck went on stage at the Columbia, Maryland show of Rock the Bells, during Raekwon's set, and told the audience the reason for the diss track was because the nigga tried to diss my brother, he tried to shit on my nigga like my nigga ain't a made man. Fuck Joe Budden, referring to what Budden said about Method Man. Joe Budden did not retaliate with a diss track, but however, posted a 5-minute video blog in which he said that he wanted to slap Deck and called Deck a coward. At the San Bernardino stop of Rock the Bells, Raekwon approached Budden with his ice water incorporated entourage, resulting in Budden getting punched in the right eye. Shortly after this occurred, Joe Budden posted yet another online video blog of him with an ice pack over his eye, with many speculating Raekwon is the one who did the assault. It was later revealed that the punch was thrown by a member of Raekwon's entourage named Hans. Hans stated that he did not appreciate Budden speaking disrespectfully about Inspectah Deck and Method Man in interviews over the summer. He further commented, "I punched him in the face because he was out of line. I look at him like, not the schoolyard bully, but the motherfucker that's always picking on a motherfucker that don't fuck with nobody. To say something about a nigga like Meth is crazy, Meth don't fuck with nobody. I'm not gonna sit here and say Ray made me do it, that was a spontaneous decision on my own. I'm glad I did it, 'cause he got a big mouth. It wasn't actually planned, he could have actually changed that whole situation as it unfolded, as it went on." Although Joe Budden and Raekwon reportedly were sat down and forced to settle things on the final day of the tour, Budden released a video on his website challenging Raekwon to a one-on-one fight, and called on all his fans to help persuade Raekwon to accept, despite the fact that it wasn't Raekwon who threw the punch. Raekwon however did not accept, and explained that he's a grown man with a family, and that fighting would be childish. He also stated this has never ever been a Wu-Tang vs Slaughterhouse thing, this is about a kid who gets off on doing blogs. My thing is this, I'm a businessman, I'm here to make money, take care of my family and keep as many people safe and sound as possible. We not gonna take it there cause that's little shit, we are grown men. I will never jump out the window to sacrifice the situation with my family for something that ain't worth it. Since the incident, Budden has stated in interviews the feud was over, and Raekwon made a similar announcement during a show, stating that he had love for Joe Budden.
Wu-Tang affiliates and associates.
The Wu-Tang Clan's range of big-name, non-Wu-Tang artists has expanded exponentially since their early days. Close collaborators to individual members or the group as a whole include or have included mainly East Coast-based artists, including Redman, Mobb Deep, Busta Rhymes, Eric Sermon, Nas, Pete Rock, and others. The Wu-Tang Clan also has many affiliates, which receive support, financial and otherwise, from within the clan. These are collectively known as the Wu-Tang Killer Bees.
Killer Bees.
The association of these artists with Wu-Tang varies greatly. They include a plethora of solo artists and groups, both past and present. Many on this list are virtually unknown, while many are already successful musicians in their own right. Generally, the most acclaimed Wu-Tang affiliates are the ones with the closest actual ties to members of the group. It is common knowledge that for one to be affiliated you have to be either affiliated by blood, sons of Wu-Tang such as GZA's son Young Justice, U-God's son Intel, Ol' Dirty Bastard's son Boy Jones, and host of others into music, signed, endorsed or initiated into the clan through the generals. RZA has the likes of Reverend William Burks, Killami, Sons of Man, Royal Fam, Shime, Black Knights etc. Ghostface Killah has the likes of Theodore Unit, Trife Da God etc. Raekwon's Ice Water Incorporated, American Cream Team etc. or through the heads of the business such as Divine, Ray Acosta, Power and so on, and finally associated through businesses in labels such as Wu-Tang Records, Wu Music Group, likes of Deadly Venoms, Gab Gaka, Wu Syndicate, etc. Ones with closest ties are usually a cross between all these requirements.
Easy Mo Bee.
In the late 1980s, future Wu-Tang Clan co-founders RZA and GZA were signed under different monikers to Cold Chillin' Records, the label home of Big Daddy Kane and Kool G Rap, among others. During their tenure, producer Easy Mo Bee provided RZA, under the name Prince Rakim, with his first hit single, You I Love You Rakim, and produced much of GZA's, under the alias The Genius, True first album, Words from the Genius. Around this time, according to the Wu-Tang Manual, RZA credits Easy Mo Bee with mentoring him and providing equipment for RZA to continue practicing beat-making. In 1994, after linking up with Bad Boy Entertainment, Mo Bee began producing a fair share of Ready to Die, the Notorious B.I.G.'s debut album. The only rap feature on the album was Method Man, who appeared on the Easy Mo Bee Produced the What? 1998 saw the producer produce for RZA once again, on the Ras Kass song The End, and Wu-Tang member Raekwon was featured on Eazy's solo album, Odyssey 2000, Now or Never alongside Busta Rhymes on the song Let's Make a Toast. 7 years later, Mo Bee would go on to co-produce a track alongside RZA on the group's fifth group album, 8 Diagrams. Wu Element producer True Master has also credited Easy Mo Bee with teaching him certain production tips, such as snare, hi-hat and volume change techniques.
Pete Rock.
Like Easy Mo Bee, New York producer Pete Rock first began his association with the Wu-Tang before it was formally founded, by playing mentor to RZA, then under the moniker Prince Rakim. In the book The Wu-Tang Manual, RZA admits to effectively stealing equipment from the successful producer, borrowing and never returning an MPC. Pete first produced for the Wu-Tang when its members Ghostface Killah, Raekwon, Inspectah Deck and Method Man made appearances on his 1998 album Soul Survivor. The following year, The producer provided beats for Raekwon's second album Immobilarity, Inspectah Deck's debut album Uncontrolled Substance, and Wu members RZA and GZA appeared on Pete's 2004 follow-up solo album Soul Survivor 2. Since then the frequency of Pete Rock's collaborations with the Wu-Tang have increased, as he provided production for Ghostface Killah's two 2006 solo albums, Fish Scale and More Fish, including the unreleased song, Chunky. Masta Killa's 2006 second album Made in Brooklyn. The Raekwon and Masta Killa featuring song PJs from his own third solo album, NY's Finest. The single Yo from Method Man and Redman's Blackout. 2. The song Sun Is Missing, from Raekwon's only built 4 Cuban links. PT2. And the track, How You Like Me Baby, from Ghostface Killah's Apollo Kids.
Nas.
In 1995, New York rapper Nas became the first artist with no previous ties to the Wu-Tang to be featured on any Wu-Tang album, namely, Raekwon's only built 4 Cuban links. Following this appearance, Nas and Raekwon began to collaborate more often, frequently being featured on the same songs. That same year, Nas and Raekwon appeared on Mobb Deep's The Infamous, on the track Eye for an Eye. In 1998, they appeared on the Fat Joe single John Blaze, alongside Big Pun and Jadakiss. During the same time period, Nas and Method Man co-starred in the film Belly, and collaborated on its soundtrack. Nas was later featured on the Wu-Tang Clan album The W, on the song Let My Niggas Live, which also featured Raekwon, as well as Inspectah Deck. In 2009, before the release of his anticipated only built 4 Cuban links, PT2, Raekwon stated that Nas was intended to be on the song Broken Safety with Jadakiss, but Nas was never able to find time to record. However, Nas was able to appear on Raekwon's 5th solo album titled Shaolin vs. Wu-Tang on the song Rich and Black, although his verse was from an old mixtape from 2001.
Mobb Deep.
In 1995, the same year that Raekwon's debut came out, the Wu-Tang rapper appeared on Mobb Deep's seminal The Infamous. Aside from Eye for an Eye, he and Ghostface Killah appeared on the track Right Back at You. A year later, Method Man and Raekwon made appearances on separate tracks on the duo's follow-up album, Hell on Earth. In 1997 Mobb Deep member Prodigy and Method Man collaborated on the soundtrack to Bullworth, on the DJ Muggs-produced song Bullworth, which also featured KRS-One and Cam. In 1998, Prodigy was featured on The Game, a song from Pete Rock's solo debut Soul Survivor, once again alongside Ghostface Killah and Raekwon. The same year, Prodigy made an appearance on Big Pun's debut album Capital Punishment, on the song Tis Leches, Tribera Trilogy, also featuring Inspectah Deck as well as produced by RZA. Also in 1998, Mobb Deep appeared on Method Man's second album, titled 2000, Judgment Day, on the song Play for Keeps, which was produced by Mobb Deep producer Havoc. 1999 saw Prodigy, Inspectah Deck and U-God appear on the Blondie single, No Exit, as well as a Raekwon appearance on the duo's third album, Murder Music. Havoc later appeared on Raekwon's 2003 album, The Lex Diamond Story, on the song King of Kings, and in 2006 he produced the song Somebody Done Fucked Up Now for Method Man's album 421. The day after, while Prodigy and Ghostface would collaborate on the song Trials of Life for DJ Green Lantern. More recently Havoc collaborated with the Wu on J Dilla's posthumous single 24K Rap alongside Raekwon, and Evil Deeds from the Wu-Tang Clan compilation album Chamber Music. Raekwon also leaked a 2009 song with Mobb Deep called Road to Riches. Havoc also made a guest appearance as a producer and rapper on the song Your World, My World, which was a bonus iTunes track off of Raekwon's 5th studio album Shaolin vs. Wu-Tang.
Redman and Eric Sermon.
Both Wu-Tang rapper Method Man and Def Squad member EPMD protege Redman were signed to Def Jam Records in 1994. Their first recorded collaboration was Double Deuces, a commercial recorded for St. Ud's Malt Liquor. Both were also featured on Got My Mind Made Up, a 2-pack song from his Death Row Records album All Eyes on Me. The collaboration led to a hit single, How High, and Method Man and Redman would make guest appearances on every subsequent album either of them have put out thus far in their careers, including the Eric Sermon-produced Heart of a Man, a single from Redman's 1996 album Muddy Waters. In addition, the duo has made many guest appearances together, including LL Cool J's 1997 hit 4, 3, 2, 1, produced by Eric Sermon, and 1999's Rap Phenomenon, on the posthumous Notorious B.I.G. album Born Again. In 1998, Method Man released his second album, titled 2000, Judgment Day, which sported 2 tracks produced by Sermon, on one of which Redman guested. A year later, Redman and Method Man released Blackout, a collaboration album that featured production from Eric Sermon, RZA, and Wu Element's producer's fourth disciple and true master. In 2000, Redman appeared on the Wu-Tang Clan's third group album, The W, on the song Red Bull alongside Method Man and Inspectah Deck. He also appeared on Ghostface Killah's second album, Supreme Clientele, alongside Ghostface, Method Man and Cappadonna. In the late 1990s to the early to mid-2000s, Redman and Method Man made several appearances in film and television together, including the comedies, How High, and Soul Plane, and the short-lived sitcom Method and Red. Sermon made a return to Method Man's music with 2006's 421. The Day After, for which the producer served as co-executive producer alongside RZA and Method Man himself, producing or co-producing 4 tracks. The producer also worked on rapper Busta Rhymes' Aftermath Entertainment album The Big Bang, co-producing the song Gold Mine with Dr. Dre, a song featuring the Wu-Tang Clan's Raekwon. This collaboration culminated in Sermon producing the song Baggin' Crack on Raekwon's 2009 album Only Built for Cuban Links. PT2, as well as 2 songs on Blackout. 2, Method Man and Redman's follow-up to the 1999 record. AZ began his career as an affiliate of Nas, but over time has strengthened his ties with other artists, including the Wu-Tang Clan. The Brooklyn rapper first recorded with the Wu in 1996, when Raekwon joined him for a RZA-produced remix of his first single, Do or Die. In '98, the rapper linked up with RZA again on the album Pieces of a Man, with the RZA-produced song, Whatever Happened, The Birth. 2005 brought another collaboration. On his album AWOL, AZ featured Raekwon and Ghostface Killah on his single New York. In 2009, AZ was featured on the Wu-Tang compilation album Chamber Music, and appeared alongside Raekwon and Ghostface again in 2010 on DJ K-Slay's album More Than Just a DJ. In 2011, AZ appeared on the title track of Wu-Tang's Legendary Weapons alongside Ghostface Killah and M.O.P. Additionally, in 2013, he was featured on the remix to Raekwon's track 86 from the compilation album Lost JWLOY.
Busta Rhymes.
New York rapper Busta Rhymes first collaborated with the Wu-Tang Clan when he and Method Man appeared together on the 1995 remix to the Boyz II Men single Vibin'. Busta then, in 1996, released a remix to his single Woo-Ha. Got You All in Check, featuring Ol' Dirty Bastard. Also that year, Busta was featured on the soundtrack to Space Jam, where he and Method Man appeared on the song Hit 'Em High alongside Be Real, Coolio, and LL Cool J. 2000 witnessed Ghostface Killah and Raekwon appear on Busta's album Anarchy, on the song The Heist. Busta also appeared with Raekwon on Easy Mo Bee's solo album, Odyssey 2000, Now or Never, and guested on the W on the song The Monument. Busta would later appear on Method Man's album Title Zero, the prequel, assisting on the hit single, What's Happenin', while convincing Raekwon to record his sequel to the critically acclaimed 1995 album Only Built for Cuban Links. Serving in an executive producer capacity, Busta helped Raekwon assemble Cuban Links 2 and provided the rapper with a link to Aftermath producer Dr. Dre. Raekwon appeared on Busta's 2006 album The Big Bang, on the Dr. Dre Eric Sermon-produced song Goldmine, and Busta made a return appearance on the Dr. Dre-produced About Me from 2009's Only Built for Cuban Links 2. In addition, Busta later appeared on Capone and Noreaga's 2010 album The War Report 2, Report the War, their first on Raekwon's Vanity label Ice H20 Records, on the song The Oath, which also featured Raekwon. Busta also made an appearance on Ghostface Killah's album Apollo Kids later that year on the song Superstar, and appeared in 2011 on Raekwon's fifth solo album Shaolin vs. Wu-Tang on the song Crane Style.
The LOX.
Jadakiss, one-third of Yonkers, New York-based group The LOX, first collaborated with a member of the Wu-Tang Clan in 1998 on the single John Blaze with Raekwon. While the collaboration led to associations with Nas and Fat Joe as well, Jada's group began to collaborate with the Wu-Tang on a more regular basis. LOX member Sheek Louch collaborated with Method Man and Redman on Ride or Die Volume 2 in 2001, on the track 2 Tears in a Bucket. He also appeared on Raekwon's third album The Lex Diamond Story in 2003. In 2004, Jadakiss appeared on Run, the RZA-produced hit single from Ghostface Killah's The Pretty Tony album, which also featured the song Metal Lungs, a collaboration with the other two LOX members, Styles P and Sheek Louch. The following year Ghostface appeared on Louch's 2005 album, After Taxes. In 2006, Sheek made a return appearance on Ghostface's Fish Scale, and Raekwon appeared alongside Jadakiss and others on High-Tech's album High Technology 2, The Chip, on the song, Where It Started At. Ghostface Killah appeared on LOX member Styles P's 2007 album, Super Gangsta, Extraordinary Gentleman, and Styles was set to appear on Ghostface's Big Doe Rehab, having recorded a version of the song Tony Sigel aka Barrel Brothers with Styles. In 2009, Jadakiss featured Raekwon and Ghostface Killah on his album The Last Kiss, on the single Cartel Gathering, and Raekwon featured Jadakiss and Styles P on his album Only Built for Cuban Links 2. Sheek Louch and New D-Block Edition Bully also appeared on the Method Man, Ghostface Killah and Raekwon album, Wu Massacre. Inspectah Deck has also stated that he intends to reach out to Jadakiss to appear on his next and final album, The Rebellion. In addition, Ghostface and Sheek Louch have announced a collaboration album called Wu Block. A joint effort released in 2012, the album is a street-orientated sound fallout collabo between the D-Block and Wu camps.
Kool G Rap.
Kool G Rap began appearing with the Wu-Tang starting in 1999, on the single Cakes, produced by and featuring RZA for the soundtrack to Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai. He had always been held in high regard amongst Clan members, particularly RZA, Ghost, and Ray. In 2003, G-Rap appeared on Inspectah Deck's album The Movement, and furthermore went on to make appearances on the Ghostface Killah Trife Da God joint album Put It On The Line, and Raekwon's EP Dope on the Table in the years following. In addition, he was featured on both RZA's Afro Samurai, Resurrection soundtrack, and the Wu-Tang's Chamber Music. Most recently, he will appear alongside Wu-Tang Clan members on the soundtrack to RZA's upcoming film, The Man with the Iron Fists, on the track Rivers of Blood.
DJ Muggs.
West Coast producer and Cypress Hill co-founder DJ Muggs began collaborating with the Wu-Tang in 1995, when RZA and U-God appeared on the RZA-produced Cypress Hill song Killer Hill Niggers, from the album 3, Temples of Boom. In 1997, Muggs produced the Method Man Prodigy collaboration, Bullworth. In addition, RZA and GZA appeared on his albums Soul Assassin's I, and GZA appeared on the 2000 follow-up, Soul Assassins 2. In return, Muggs produced a song on GZA's 2002 album Legend of the Liquid Sword. The partnership led to Muggs and GZA recording the 2005 joint album Grandmasters, billed as DJ Muggs vs. GZA, the first in a series of DJ Muggs vs. albums, released to some critical acclaim. 2005 also saw Muggs produce the song Black Opera for Skillz, which featured Raekwon. Additionally, GZA appeared on the DJ Muggs-produced Planet Asia album, Pain Language in 2008. In 2009, Raekwon spoke about recording new material with DJ Muggs, presumably for his album Cuban Links 2, although no new collaborations surfaced until he appeared on the song Chase Manhattan from the DJ Muggs' Ill Bill album Kill Devil Hills.
MF Doom.
The underground rapper-producer MF Doom's first collaboration with the Wu-Tang Clan was in 2005, when he appeared with the RZA on Biochemical Equation, which RZA also produced, from the compilation album Wu-Tang Meets the Indie Culture. When Doom anonymously submitted a beat tape for Ghostface Killah, several of his tracks made the cut for Ghostface's 2006 albums Fish Scale and More Fish, including the song 9 Milli Brothers, which featured the Wu-Tang Clan in its entirety. Doom also provided production for Masta Killa's 2006 album Made in Brooklyn. An album-long collaboration with Ghostface Killah was rumored for several years, and various songs leaked that reportedly were recorded for the project, which was to be entitled either Ghostface Meets Metalface or Swift and Changeable. The project has not yet surfaced, but in July 2009 Ghostface reported having recorded his parts for the record and said he was simply waiting for Doom to finish his parts. Since More Fish, several new collaborations by the two have surfaced, including Chinatown Wars, from the soundtrack to Grand Theft Auto, Chinatown Wars, Angeles, The Mask, and the J Dilla-produced Sniper Elite, and Murder Goons. Additionally, Raekwon appeared on Doom's album Born Like This. Ghostface Killah and Doom released the track Victory Laps, and in early 2013, Ghostface announced that the collaboration album Swift and Changeable is on track to be released by the end of the year.
Kanye West.
Producer-rapper Kanye West, formerly of Roc-A-Fella Records, built a production and rapping style closely based on various members of the Wu-Tang Clan. In 2000, he got some of his first major production placements on former Bad Boy producer D. Nate the Mad Rapper's debut album, Tell 'Em Why You Mad, including the song Ghetto, which featured Raekwon. In 2001, West produced the bulk of Jay-Z's successful and highly praised album The Blueprint, implementing an augmented version of a technique pioneered by RZA. Kanye has since revealed that the beats he and fellow rock producer Just Blaze produced were originally created for Ghostface Killah, before announcing that Ghostface inspired his sound and style. During the recording sessions for West's 2004 debut College Dropout, Wu-Tang member and then Roc-A-Fella artist Ol' Dirty Bastard recorded a chorus and backing vocals for the song Keep the Receipt, which was left off the album but released on a mixed app. In 2006, Kanye was featured on the remix to Ghostface Killah's hit single, Back Like That. In 2010, West and Raekwon collaborated again on the Kanye-produced remix to Justin Bieber's single Runaway Love. Following up on the song, Raekwon guested on several tracks cut from West's My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which were released as songs in the producer's weekly GOOD Fridays series. On the album's proper release, Raekwon was featured on the track Gorgeous alongside West and Kid Cudi. In addition, RZA co-produced the song Dark Fantasy with West and producer No ID, and appeared on the song So Appalled alongside Jay-Z, Pusha T and C. Haidar Prince. RZA also produced the song New Day with West off the Kanye West and Jay-Z's collaborative effort Watch the Throne. More recently, both Raekwon and Ghostface Killah were featured on the GOOD music compilation album, Cruel Summer, the latter being featured on the iTunes version of the album. In 2012, he and RZA collaborated on the track White Dress for the soundtrack for Man with the Iron Fists.
M.O.P.
In 2009, M.O.P. appeared on the compilation album Wu-Tang Chamber Music. The project was almost completely produced by Lil Fame of M.O.P., under the moniker of Fizzy Womack, alongside RZA, The Revelations and others. The duo appeared on the track Ill Figures alongside Raekwon and Kool G Rap. In 2011, they also guested on the title track for the compilation album Legendary Weapons, alongside Ghostface Killah and AZ. M.O.P. appears on a single for the soundtrack for Man with the Iron Fists, on the track Blackout with Ghostface Killah and Pharoah Monch, which is also produced by Lil Fame.
Other artists.
Ghostface Killah's Fish Scale also boasted work by underground sensation and Detroit, Michigan producer J Dilla, who died shortly after. However, just as the producer's music has continued to surface in other artists' projects, several productions Dilla created for Raekwon made the final cut of the rapper's 2009 album. The year 2009 witnessed the release of the long-delayed, highly anticipated Only Built for Cuban Links PT2. The album made heavy use of long-time and short-term Wu-Tang associates, featuring frequent collaborators Pete Rock, Eric Sermon and Busta Rhymes while cementing the associates' status of newer collaborators, namely, Beanie Sigel, J Dilla, The Alchemist and Dr. Dre, all of whom have worked, in a limited capacity, with the Wu-Tang Clan previously. As of 2010, the number of Wu-Tang affiliates has grown further. Capone and Noreaga, a rap duo from Queens, New York City, signed with Raekwon's Ice H20 Records on February 18, 2010 and enlisted the Wu-Tang rapper to serve as an executive producer of their latest album, The War Report 2. Bun B has also appeared on several songs with Wu-Tang members in 2009 October, after being featured on Method Man and Redman's Blackout. 2. Bun made appearances on Raekwon's Only Built for Cuban Links 2, Gold Edition, made up of tracks cut from the original product, and appeared on Redman's latest album Ready alongside Redman and Method Man. Since 2009, RZA has made a series of appearances alongside Ohio blues rock band The Black Keys, Dollars and Cents, and Tellin' Me Things from the Dame Dash-sponsored collaborative album Black Rock, and the single The Baddest Man Alive from the Man with the Iron Fist soundtrack. Pharoah Monch appeared alongside RZA and others on the 1999 Wake Up Show anthem, most of which uses the beat from Airwaves, an interlude from RZA's album Bobby Digital and Stereo. Monch also featured Method Man on the remix to his 1999 single, Simon Says. He also collaborated with RZA on Dollars and Cents, and appears with Ghostface Killah and M.O.P. on the soundtrack for The Man with the Iron Fists, on the track Blackout.
Discography.
Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers, 1993, Wu-Tang Forever, 1997, The W, 2000, Iron Flag, 2001, 8 Diagrams, 2007, A Better Tomorrow, 2014.